Good evening, Mr. Rollo. Thank you so much for being with us today. ENGIE has increased its presence and activity in Japan over the last years. Maybe we can start talking about the conscience, the coming into conscience of energy management and heat and cold networks in the cities. How do you view the potential of Japan on this topic?
Good evening. We see a very significant potential here in Japan because there are district heating and cooling networks in Japan, but not as many as there could be. Particularly, there is always this belief that district heating and cooling can only be built when you build a new area, where in fact you can retrofit district heating and cooling in existing areas. That's what we call the brownfield development. And if you look at Japan this way, then you will find many places where we can introduce district heating and cooling. And district heating and cooling is first far more efficient than individual air cooling system. Second, it allows you to give back the heat to the environment at the place where you want it to be, and not necessarily in the streets in front of your own building, where you create what we call an heat island. It allows you also to benefit from the most advantageous and free sources of heat and cold, like taking temperature from the river, if you are nearby a river, taking heat from the ground. If you have enough space, you can have a geothermal project with wells taking the temperature deep in the ground. So all that is allowed by size and investment, and you cannot do that at the scale of one individual building. That's why we think if we want to make the cities more efficient, that's a very important piece, and that's a piece where ENGIE has a lot of experience. We are the world leader in district cooling. We are one of the world leaders in district heating, and we can help the Japanese to develop that.
Many companies or many countries are going towards carbon neutral targets. We see Japan not being ambitious as much as other countries in this respect. Do you see more ambition in the companies, for example? Do you hope that the government will take more at heart this issue?
All over the world, what we observe is that in the recent year or in the past 2 years, we have seen the states losing their leadership role in energy transition, and we have seen local authorities and companies taking the lead. So we see today more ambitious targets among certain of our commercial and industrial customers than we see from the states, and we see local authorities or universities or airports being more ambitious than the state. And therefore we as ENGIE, we have refocused our commercial targets, if I may say so, towards providing solutions for these companies and these communities or cities who want to take the lead. That's what we call energy transition towards zero carbon as a service. So energy transition, that's the first step towards zero carbon, because these companies, these cities are very ambitious. And as a service, that means that we do not only provide the technological solution for these cities, we are ready to invest on their behalf and be paid through a long-term contract where we provide exactly the services they need. They not necessarily need energy. They may need a good temperature in summer, a good temperature in winter. And we provide them with this service, and we are paid for it, and we take in charge everything else: the investment, the running of the plant, the fitting of the devices which will ensure that everything is efficient. That's what we call as a service.
What is the most important incentive today? Is it pollution? Is it comfort? Is it cost reduction?
Well, today the ambitious cities and commercial and industrial companies have a target to be zero carbon. But depending on the context, for some cities pollution will be even more important because it's more short term, because they have people dying from pollution. In some other cases, for some companies, it will be cost. What we strongly believe is that modern technology allows so much efficiency in the use of energy that this efficiency will pay for the new investment in most cases. And therefore, our belief and what we can demonstrate is that to many of our customers, we will provide at the same time cost efficiency and energy efficiency and carbon efficiency.
Didier Holleaux, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.